built upon, and say that as a guest here in a good way, I walk lightly and with respect. My name is Clayton Thomas Mueller. I'm the Stop It at the Source campaigner with the global climate organization 350.org. We're very pleased to be wrapping up an incredible journey. For the last 10 days, I've had the honor of traveling with some of my dear friends from Alberta First Nations and some of our guests from the other side of Mother Earth, the Pacific Climate Warriors, in their visit one of the biggest drivers of the global climate crisis, the Alberta tar sands, and of course its associated pipeline infrastructure here in BC, the proposed Kinder Morgan pipeline twinning project. And what a journey it has been. It has been an incredible journey, full of all kinds of a wide range of emotions. You're going to see some of that tonight in the world premiere of the mini documentary that we produced of the journey. Big shout out to Zach Embry, local videographer, filmmaker. And last night, we had the opportunity to join some of the living relatives of Chief Dan George over across the shores in North Vancouver into Tsleil-Waututh and the community there in a sweat lodge. And our South Pacific Warriors joined us, where we had the opportunity to really join our prayers together with the Coastal Salish people in their fight to stop Kinder Morgan, to stop the Canadian and BC and Alberta governments from building this pipeline and threatening this beautiful sacred water here that all of you depend on in a good way. And so tonight is going to be a few different speakers. We're of course going to open in a good way with our first speaker, who will take care of those protocols that Indigenous peoples always adhere to. The first speaker that I'll be introducing tonight is a son of both the Tsleil-Waututh Nation as well as Tulalip Nation. His parents, Deborah Parker, and his father, Reuben George, are both well-known activists in the Indigenous rights movement. And his great-grandfather, Reuben George, or Chief Dan George, and his living grandmother, Ann George, have impacted Indigenous peoples all around the world with their prayers and their beautiful words in our movement for self-determination and justice. I myself, growing up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, I'm Cree, from the community of Pugatawagan Cree Nation in Treaty 6 territory in northern Manitoba, but I grew up in the city, like so many Native people here in Vancouver. And my mom would talk to me about three individuals that she wanted me to grow up and be like. One was Malcolm X, the other was Dr. King, and then the third was Chief Dan George. And in my bedroom, growing up, and in my bedroom I had a picture of Chief Dan George on my wall, and his speech that he gave at the 100th anniversary of the colonization of these lands they call Canada, his lament for Confederation speech. And I grew up every morning looking at the words of that speech. And so for me, being here, getting to go and sweat with his grandson and his great-grandson, getting to, organize in a good way with the citizens of Vancouver and Burnaby and all the communities that are rising up against Kinder Morgan to protect these waters. Well, one could say that I was raised to do this work. And so a big shout out to my mom, and a big shout out to all of you in the audience and everybody watching on the live stream, all the moms. It was just Mother's Day, and we on Mother's Day came together and we raised a paddle together right at the Kinder Morgan terminal in the canoes, including Chief Dan George's big canoe, and did a ceremony on Mother's Day for our most sacred Mother Earth. And so I want to introduce in a good way Cedar Parker George to come up here. He's been traveling the world, talking to other young people and communities in all four directions about the fight of his people and carrying on the good work of his ancestors in a good way. And I'm really, really happy that he made time to come here tonight to, officially welcome everybody here into the territory, to share a song and prayer, to open this space up in a good way, and open all of your hearts, minds, and spirits up in a good way, and to set the context for why we are doing this work. After Cedar speaks, we will have the world premiere of the Raise a Paddle Journey to the Tar Sands of the Pacific Climate Warriors. And after the movie, we will jump in to our other speakers from the South Pacific, Coretti, Radina, and George. And we will end this evening with a presentation from my sister, Melina Lubacan Massimo, who comes from one of the indigenous communities, the Cree Nation of Little Buffalo, that is in the midst of the tar sands development, but doing incredible things in the area of solutions. And she's going to get up here and talk as well with all of us. So in a good way, join me in welcoming Cedar Parker George to the stage, one of our dynamic young leaders.
The Hillsong is celebration too, right?
Hey, can everybody hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, so at first I'm going to start off with a song from my territory here. It's a little bit early, but it's a celebration song. And we're going to win. My name is Cedar George Parker from Tsleil-Waututh Nation, Tulalip tribes, right out of Seattle, Washington. And, I'd like to welcome you to the land shared by the Tsleil-Waututh, Squamish, and Musqueam tribes. And, welcome today. And where should I even start? Today I was thinking about, what am I going to talk about today? And I said,